He may have only been there for 2 minutes, but the changes Nuno has already made to Forest from a tactical standpoint are astronomical. It goes without saying that the new manager bounce played its part in the victory at St. James's Park, but make no mistake about it, for all of Steve Cooper's brilliance man management wise, Nuno's at a completely different level to him when it comes to setting teams up in the Prem. On Boxing Day, Forest became the first team to score 3 goals away at Newcastle since Man City in August 2022, and those cheating bastards still couldn't beat them on that occasion. Furthermore, this was the first time Forest had scored 3 away goals in a top-flight game this century. I mean, Christ almighty. In his very first attempt, Nuno's matched Forest's total number of away wins from both this and last season. Don't get me wrong, sympathy for Steve Cooper's dismissal was both understandable and appropriate given how he transformed championship strugglers into the talk of the Premier League in the space of a year, but far too many were writing Nuno off for his apparent failure at Tottenham, where he was given a grand total of 10 league games, winning half of them and picking up the Manager of the Month award along the way. He's taken Valencia and Porto to the Champions League, as well as Rio Ave and Wolves to Europa. Hell, the lowest ever league finish in his illustrious career is 13th, and the Forest hierarchy would bite your fucking hand off for that right now. I'll be the first to admit that Nuno's compact and reactive approach can be a bit of an eyesore, and I'd have loved to seen what a progressive coach like Glasner would have done at the City Ground, but that doesn't take away from the effectiveness of Nuno's methods. Ever since Opta began recording data in 2014, not once have Forest had a higher expected goals tally away from home than they did in their previous game, and that boils down to one thing and one thing only: counter-attacking football. This shit is trademark Nuno. The opposition try and play on the front foot, only to get stunned on the break. When executed correctly, it's a joy to behold, and while there's generally an expectation of so-called top 6 sides to dominate possession, Nuno won't have to worry about that at Forest just yet, which in turn will allow him to stick to his principles. His Wolves side ranked top of the table for shots from fast breaks in each of his first 2 seasons in the top flight. Defending in numbers while simultaneously being prepared to attack at pace is easier said than done, but thankfully from Nuno's perspective, he's got the players at his disposal to do just that. I'm sorry to say, but there's not a chance in hell that this squad should be anywhere near a relegation battle. When you've got the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi, Anthony Elanga, and Morgan Gibbs-White sitting behind the centre forward, the last of which was finally restored to his favourite central role, you can hurt teams in transition. The pace and creativity makes life for the number 9 a hell of a lot easier too, and it should come as no surprise that Chris Wood stated post-game, "It's an easier job for me if I only have to run 20 yards towards goal instead of 60. Needless to say, it's not every day you'll see a player score such a stunning hat-trick. While the first goal was a tap-in, the next 2 were simply sensational, and it's rather curious that someone you'd expect to score with their head ended up bagging 3 with their unfavored left foot. With Taiwo Awoniyi expected to return soon, there'll be no shortage of competition for places, and I for one am looking forward to seeing how things unfold once everyone's fit again. Obviously, there's plenty of work to be done to cut out defensive errors, but I do believe that will come in due course. The decision to send off Willy Bolly might just have been the worst I've ever seen in my entire life, so for all the criticism of Forest conceding for fun against Bournemouth, they'd likely have won that fixture if not for dogshit refereeing. Lastly, it should be noted that names like Ibrahim Sangare, Felipe, Gonzalo Montiel, and Danilo would not look out of place in a Champions League squad, so I reckon with a couple more signings in the summer, there's no excuse for Forest not to kick on and challenge for European places next season after stabilizing themselves as a mid-table club in this one. Do let me know your own thoughts down below, and I'll catch you in the next one, folks. Peace.